Yes, my name is Alan, and I am a parent in long-term recovery.
My name is Gislyn, and I'm a parent in long-term recovery.
The first thing that was helpful for me to learn was that I didn't cause it, I can't control it, and I can't cure it. And it is a disease, and that's the first thing that I would want someone to know.
It's also the only known disease to man that has to be self-diagnosed. For me, it was, I heard money, mothering, and managing were the three poisons to recovery. And so I got busy not doing those three things, not throwing money at it anymore, not trying to figure it out for them anymore, and not trying to manage how they were going to get sober. The only thing that we did provide was each time, they were like boomerangs, they kept coming back, was hand over the car keys, hand over your phone, I'll pay for a rehab, or you can go live in the streets. I got busy with the solution instead of being part of the problem. And I heard early on I was a big part of the problem.
At some point in dealing with our sons who were dying of heroin addiction, okay, at some point it became very apparent to me anything that I was doing that I thought was helping them was actually hurting them, whether it be giving them rides, giving them money, giving them advice, giving them anything was counterproductive. And so I had to learn how to say no in that regard. And that was an important lesson for me, because I didn't want them to be uncomfortable. I didn't want them to suffer. And I thought that if I could do things to make them more comfortable, it was helpful. But actually, looking back at that, it was sort of selfish of me, because I didn't want to see them suffer. When in actuality, the suffering is part of the process of recovery, of wanting recovery, right?
I have a sponsor who, at the very beginning, she kept saying, this isn't about you. This is where you can start having faith in a power greater than yourself, and have faith to trust the providers, that they know what they are doing. And I was out of options. I didn't know anymore what to do. So it was not difficult for me to trust the providers.
And my answer also would be, again, I ran out of ideas, okay? And I had tried to control and manipulate and fix for so many years, and none of it was working, okay? So as was said, I ran out of ideas, but I think just as importantly, I came to the point where I realized that I could not detach myself emotionally, because when it's your child or a loved one of any kind that's going through this process of the disease or in treatment, I cannot be impartial, okay? Any decision that I make is going to be skewed by my own judgment and my own emotions that are attached. So I cannot be impartial in my decision making. Whereas the professionals, they can be. They see things way more clearly than I'm capable of seeing them, because my vision is clouded by my attachments and my emotions about what's going on with my loved one. And so I'm not maybe making rational decisions because of my emotional involvement. Right.
Well, no situation is hopeless. And we say that in Al-Anon. No situation is hopeless. And I grabbed onto that from the beginning. I had hope, even though I came to a point where I had to realize I was nobody special on this planet, orbiting through the middle of God knows what. that other mothers lost children to cancer, to war, and other diseases. And that was a humbling experience for me to recognize that. I don't know, it's just like I just kept on keeping on, one day at a time. And sometimes it was a minute at a time. At the very beginning, I would speak to my closed mouth friend more than once a day. I spent the first 6 months crying at meetings. And little by little, I started to breathe through the whole experience, and I took the steps. And little by little, I started to trust this power that I found that I could do business with. And I just trusted the process, just like I trusted the professionals.
Yeah.
It's not a one day fix it
No,
kind of thing.
it's true. I guess what I would say, two things. It's really important for me to learn and understand that this is a disease. It's not a moral failure or failure of will, that we're dealing with a progressive and fatal disease that affects everyone that it touches. And the other thing I would say is to someone who's new at this, is take care of yourself.
Absolutely.
Keep the focus on yourself and your side of the street, and see what you can do to be part of the solution, rather than part of the problem. And don't try to do this alone. Reach out, ask for help.